Morning, guys. Today is February 11th, Monday morning. You can see we had a dusting of snow last night. Looks like my neighbor was here and I was not ready to receive him. So anyway, this starts the snow again. We're supposed to get snow, I think, in 2 more days. Not positive of that. I'm just about out of firewood over there. So we'll see what happens today. Hope you guys are having a good one. Hey guys, the other day I picked this thing up. Sometimes on Saturdays I take my old friend for a ride, and I did this past Saturday, and we went down to Harbor Freight. And when I went down, I picked this thing up. It was $19.99. It's a battery load tester. The nice thing about this is you could hook it to a battery, and you get you can put a load on it by flipping and holding the switch for 10 seconds. I charged the battery. I didn't buy a new one, but I charged the battery for 3 days to go up to the trickle charge up to the dump truck. And when I hooked this up to it, it showed that the battery was still good, that it wasn't a bad battery. So I put the battery back in the truck. I have the truck running right now. And with this thing, you can also test the starter. You can test the charging system by just hooking it up, and you can see here it tells you what it's charging, or whether the 12-volt battery is good or the 6-volt battery is weak or whatever. So for 19 bucks, I don't think you can beat it. I don't plan on using a lot. I'm not going to leave it lay around because it's not made very tough. It doesn't look like it's sort of tinny, but it still seemed to work good. Hey guys, I had my dump truck running this morning, and I want to bring it and put it into the garage so I can get ready for inspection with it. It needs pretty much work. The problem is the pickup truck that I have to pull outside, I want to put coal on it. And if we were going to have a week of nice weather, I would make this swap, leave the truck outside, not really worry about it, put a tarp over it or whatever. But we're supposed to have snow, and they're calling for 7 to 12 inches tomorrow. So I don't know what's going on with the weather. So I had the dump truck running, I shut it off. So I decided to work on something else. And what I want is, and you can probably buy these, and that's fine, but I'm not interested in buying it right now. I want a little something that I can use to charge my batteries, or jump a car or something if I have to, and I'd like everything to be contained in it. So what I'm kind of thinking about doing here is making some kind of a stand that would hold the battery, and just put 2 posts there, and maybe, I don't know, maybe smaller battery for the smaller things like the 4-wheeler or the garden tractor. If I can't get it started, rather than putting all this voltage against it, I can put the same voltage but less amps. So I need something. I'm going to put a handle on there. I want to have something for cables. I'm just going to draw it this way, but I actually mean it to come out, you know, next to it or quite slightly in front of it, to hold the cables for the batteries to do the jumping. So I think I'm going to work on that in the garage. I've got bed angle, old trusty bed angle, and I think I have enough to do this. So I'm going to work on something like that today. I have some wheels. They're not exactly what I want. In reality, the whole size of the wheel is sort of like something like that. I think the wheel is no bigger than that. It's not really the best thing. You should probably have a 6-inch wheel to be able to pull it over stones and stuff easy. But it's not that bad, and I should be able to come up with something. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. So the first thing to do is take this angle. There's a couple of them here that are pretty square on the ends. This one has a crooked cut. I just want to square this up. Okay. Okay guys, so I measured the biggest battery I have on the patch, and that is the one on my backhoe, and it measures about 8 1/4, 8.5 inches. I didn't take it out to measure, but so I'm going to make this the depth of this bottom bracket or bottom holder for the battery 9.5 inches, and when I bend that over, if I lose anything in the bend, I'll still have plenty of metal there to be able to make this bracket. So for right now I'm thinking 9.5 inches. I marked them both. I'm going to make a cut through one leg of this angle iron, and then I'm going to bend it and then re-weld it. I want to make two 90s. So what I did here is I measured 9.5 inches, and then I took this scale, or I mean this square, and I marked 45 here, turned it around and marked the 45 there. So I'll be cutting this piece out of here, and that'll allow me to bend this on a 90, and then I can re-weld that, put a scab on it or something and re-weld it. So I have, this one's already done, so I'm going to do the other one here. So the cut then looks like this, and then I'll just bend this and close this mouth. Okay, so then the next part here is I have these for each side, and now I measured the battery, the biggest battery I have on the patch, and it's 20 inches. So I'm going to go with 20.5 inches to give myself a little play and separate these two. So I'm going to have like a brace across one, and maybe here, excuse me, and one at the top possibly. And I'm just winging this for just to see what's going to happen. I need to put one across the face of this to make like a square so the battery fits in. So I'm going to cut this 20.5. Maybe I'll cut two of them 20.5 just to go with that for starters. Okay guys, so I have an angle, I don't know if you can see it, but a welding angle to keep this thing on a 90 here on one side, and then I have it clamped on the opposite side. So I'm going to put a flap disc in here and clean this thing up. Just for welding purposes. I'm also going to clean a spot for the clamp. I'm going to do the other side yet. They're pretty even there. This one could go down a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to tack those in place now. Okay, so I have this welded here and over there, so, and I have it clamped at the other end so I can work it a little bit, move it around without it falling apart. I do want to clamp or weld that other bottom piece onto this now. So that's basically the shape that I'm going to have of this. Sort of like a, I don't know, a little cart for moving a refrigerator, but on a minor size, smaller size. That's good. So So I'm going to fit this in here a little better than it is, and then I'll get some beads of weld on there to hold that thing. Okay guys, these wheels are not what I would have picked if I'd have had more to pick from, but these are what I had in my box up there. So anyway, I need to cut these off to be even with the wheels so this thing stands straight up and down. So, and I'll probably put a little pad on there because just the angle will probably dig into the dirt and fall over on me. So I'll put a little pad on there to give it some resistance to sinking in. So I'm going to cut these both off. Those will be the front legs. And I'm going to do something with these wheels yet. I'll probably put a brace down to the thing here. I want the wheel to be back as far as I can so that this cart is stable. So the axle is in line with the back of the handle there. So that should make it, you know, stand pretty well. I'll just move it over here and see. Oh, I can't do that until I cut the legs. So let me cut the legs off here and then I'll get back to you. Okay guys, so it stands nice and sturdy, so I'm okay with the way it is at the moment. I want to put another shelf on here of some sort that's going to hold a smaller battery and something to hold cables and stuff like that. So I'll be working on that as I go today. We're supposed to be getting a snowstorm like I said. I don't know what's going to happen, but I figured I may as well do something in the garage. For this handle, this is only like 1 inch or 1 1/4 inch angle, and this is like not quite 2 inch pipe. So it was sticking way out here. I just hammered the pipe down. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I hammered it down and welded that. I got to dress that up. I'm going to clean that up and weld everything and clean up all the welds, and then I'll paint it. I think I'm going to put a piece of red oak on the bottom of that thing right in here so that whatever's sitting on there, if it's a smaller battery, it doesn't juggle out of there or jiggle out of there. So I'm going to keep going with it, see what happens. It's nice if you draw plans before you start stuff. I didn't, except for on the whiteboard. Hey guys, well, I did a little bit of grinding on the handles. The handles on the top there. Came out nice and I'm not dragging my fingers on anything. And I want to put another shelf on here. What I want to do is put a big 12 volt battery on the bottom, a smaller battery, and the battery charger on another shelf up here. And then a set of battery cables, I can hook them onto here, jumper cables. You know, the name of the game is to build this stuff without buying anything. I don't know why that's the name of the game, but that's the game. And if it wasn't for bed angle, I gotta tell you, there would be a lot of things that I would not have built. So I think the guy who invented bed angle, not only, I realize that the angle iron isn't the big deal, but the big deal is that they're everywhere. That means that you can even make weapons. Weapons out of bed angle. So if this country's ever attacked, all you gotta do is get bed angle. That along with a couple of nice ARs or whatever, and you got yourself covered. Anyway guys, I'll finish this up tomorrow. I'm not sure how I want to make that other shelf on there. I'm satisfied with this. I'm going to put a piece of red oak down here, make it look kind of fancy a little bit with that. Not the greatest thing in the world, but it does, see how it pulls itself forward? That's what I wanted. I don't want it falling over on me. And the battery, when the battery's in there, it'll definitely hold it. So I'll be able to do my thing here and hopefully start cars that I want a little bit of a, like, I'm not so much about a jumping the car thing as much as I am using the batteries that I already have, because I have a bunch of them, to be able to jump the cars or the backhoe or whatever, just in case. Because when it gets really cold like that -22, even her car didn't want to start outside. So having a little extra juice on it will help. So that's where I'm after, what I'm after here. Guys, thanks for watching. If you have any comments that might be able to help me with anything, don't be afraid to put them in the comment section. Have a good one.